You have done a lot of global reporting on global issues. Tell me what you have seen in terms of either pro-democracy movements in other regions of the world and maybe the rise of authoritarianism, what you've covered and how that eventually helped influence what you wrote in the book.
I think that my co-author Badia Tao and I started working on the book. The book took 5 years, and we started working on it around the middle of COVID lockdown, lockdown, and everyone was sort of finding hobbies or writing or doing interesting creative output. And I didn't expect that this comic book, which we thought, let's do a Kickstarter, let's do 24 pages, like, one of those thin comics. And it just kind of ballooned into this, book that's 260 plus pages, full on like bona fide graphic novel. But I think, you know, there's been a frustration on my end as a reporter that the same type of groups of people around the world was reading or watching my videos, whether it was on Al Jazeera or later with Vice News or the news magazines or writing articles for various US publications. And I really wanted to break through and reach new audiences. And I'd been working as a reporter for 20 years, and it
Yeah,
just felt like I really wanted to try a new medium, a new format, and try to explain to younger people because the polling was showing that Gen
right.
Z had less faith in democracy than boomers. And that was a troubling trend, not just in the United States, but globally. And I was also noticing as a journalist, having gone to so many places around the world, that there did seem to be a shift towards authoritarianism and not in favor of democracy. So many democracies were and remain deeply embattled. Unfortunately, I would say from the inception of the book to
They
where
are.
we are now today, things are worse. In the United States and across Europe, we've seen the rise of the far right in Europe as well. And it's a pretty bleak
Have you been
picture.
hearing that what the themes you're trying to get across have been landing, let's say, with the younger generation? Have you gotten feedback on that?
Yeah, we've done a lot of book talks in the United States and also internationally. And we always meet young people. We love going to college campuses, and we've been to a number, and it's super interesting to I
Choosing to
suppose
go
it's a
there, yeah.
self-selecting group if they're an undergraduate interested in this topic, but it does give you a sense of hope. There are a lot of young people who are super inquisitive. They're so young that if you're 21, then a huge part of your life where you were very aware of news events has been completely dominated by figures like Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin, and Donald Trump. So it's hard to explain to them that things didn't used to be this way and that it could be better because there's so much cynicism. But I get the sense when I talk to young people, they know. And certainly it depends on the young people you talk to, right? Americans are being told that it didn't used to be this way in the United States and it used to be better and there's still hope, but you have to kind of imagine it. Whereas if you're a young Chinese person in your early 20s and the ones we run into on college campuses in the United States obviously left for a reason, right? They were motivated to leave. But their COVID experience was also pretty bad towards the end with the very brutal lockdowns in urban areas like Shanghai, where it was like zero tolerance and people's apartments were literally barred. Uh, and so I think that some young people have experienced authoritarianism in a very bad way and are fighting back. We also see it actually, I think there's a lot more hope in the global
Mhm.
south. We saw the student demonstrations in Nepal. We saw the student demonstrations in Bangladesh. And now where they are is, of course, deeply unstable. But that story is not yet finished with Bangladesh, and there are countless examples too in Latin America and Africa. So I think that it's a mixed picture, and strangely, you see more hope perhaps in the
Chinatown
global
is
south.